Welcome to Power Mondays. Blue Mondays are a thing of the past. Your Mondays will never be the same again. We enter our weeks with energy. This is Empowerment Podcast. We are here to empower you, to inspire you, and to equip you. You are chilling with Nompi Lokomede, the Powerhouse. Enjoy the show. Greetings, beautiful listeners of the Empowerment Podcast. This is your girl, Nompi Lokomede, the Powerhouse. I'm so feeling refreshed this weekend because me and my husband visited our high schools last weekend just to give back, because my husband is an author, so we're giving back the books to the class of 2021. Oh, the feedback was just so amazing. I just thought of myself so many years ago when I was doing matric. If people that came to the school to motivate us, it really got me very, very excited. Welcome back to Power Monday, and I hope you also had a good weekend. I hope you're feeling refreshed. I hope you're ready to take on this Monday and do what you do best, excelling for the glory of God. So I'd just like to remind you that we are available on TikTok. Please follow us. We'll follow you back. We're also available on Facebook. It's called #Empowerment Podcast. It's a closed group, so please follow us. We are on Instagram as well. It's empowerment_podcast. And then on WhatsApp, you can give us beautiful feedback and bad feedback as well. Feedback is feedback, and feedback is very, very important. Our number is 065-615-6641. So this week, we're continuing with the series that we started last week. We're doing parenting series because we want to know how we can parent this generation of kids better than we did in the past. You know, some people, they needed the good foundation for them to grow up to be the right kind of people. So today, and I'd like to thank my guest from previous week, Mrs. Caroline Hansmeyer, who was just a phenomenal woman who poured her heart. And I kept getting so much amazing feedback that you guys enjoyed the podcast and you enjoyed her energy and you enjoyed what she had to share. Today, I've got this couple that I'm hosting. They're actually my favorite couple at church. You always see them. They always have things together. Their kids are dressed up nicely. So today, I just wanted to ask them, guys, how do you do it? Because this is not an easy task. Their names are Cindy and Ngo Zondi. His name is Sibongeleni. So I'm just here to ask them about their secrets. So just stay tuned and listen to what they've got to say. These people have the secrets. I'm sure there are things that they're doing about intentional parenting. They're just one of those couple goals that you look at and you're like, wow, this couple is doing it, guys. What can stop me from doing it? Actually, especially, there's another lady that's not married that said to me about them once that, you know, when you look at that couple, you just want to get married. This is for you, Bugega in China. I will send you the link. I remember you said that. So, guys, stay tuned. This is my favorite people, and I really look up to them regarding parenting, and I think they're doing a great job. So today they're going to share with us on how they do it, because they're still young, and they're doing amazing things with their kids and with everything. Cindy and Ngo, welcome to Power Monday.
Hi, Bilo. Thank you so much. You know, you don't even know how to respond to such energy. Hey, hello. Thank you for having us. We're really excited to be part of the show. Actually, it's my first time, so yay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, we've hosted Ngo before on Living a Victorious Life. So it's not his first time on Empowerment Podcast, but I'm so happy that he gets to be on Power Monday today. Welcome to Power Monday, Ngo.
Yes, greeting to Empowerment family. It's good to be here again. Greeting to you, Nompi, as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. As I've mentioned to my listeners that you are parent goals, but you have demanding careers as well. So thank you so much for making time to just sit with me and have this chat on how we can make this generation a better generation. So Cindy, can you start and briefly introduce yourself?
Wow, how do I introduce myself? Well, my name is Cindy Zondi, as you have said.
Yes.
I am Ngo's wife.
Oh, wow.
I've been Ngo's wife for what feels like forever.
Okay.
Well, we'll be celebrating our 8 years, right? Next week.
Wow.
Next month, beginning of June. 1st of June.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I'm a mom of two very different girls. I
like that difference. I'm noting it down.
It's been an amazing journey. I'm also a finance person at work. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm also a daughter, I guess.
Don't forget.
I'm a sister and I'm a friend. I guess I'm a student too. Wow.
You see, you're doing a lot of things.
I think that's basically it. I think I'm a fun person too.
You are.
Maybe you can attest.
Yes, I can.
I think that's basically it.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think my wife has done good work to introduce all of us. Yes, I'm a public servant. I'm a father, I'm a brother. As you have said, we've been almost married for 8 years now, and we've been parents for nearly 6 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time, guys.
So yeah, it's been a very challenging and exciting road. So I think we excited to share one or two things that we think about parenting.
You guys make parenting so easy. Did you intentionally plan that, okay, now that we have kids, we're gonna live like this, we're gonna have these rules for our kids? How do you do your parenting? Do you sit down as a couple and say these are the rules for the Zondi family, or do you just go and do as you go and parent as you go?
I think mainly I can say, there's a Zulu saying that says umuntu ngabantu.
Oh wow.
So for me, I can basically say my parenting style is mostly things that I take from people close to me.
Okay.
So I'll take certain things from your family and I'll take certain things from that family, and then I'll see what can work for us. And of course also considering the type of children that you're raising, because the children are different, very, very different. Your kids can never be the same as my kids. And from looking at your kids, I can see something that can work for Emihle, and I can maybe look at another family and see something that can work for Ustelo. It also, but I think for me it's mostly observing and seeing. I also read a lot of things on parenting. If I see an article on parenting, it's very interesting to me. I think parenting is like one of the most exciting things that are happening in my life right now.
Wow.
And
we're speaking to the right people, to the right couple, guys. I told you, I bring you the best. Continue.
So I also feel you can never say you know.
Yeah.
At every stage, you have to learn something new.
Yes.
Because the Emihle I had 2 years ago is a totally different person
one.
now.
Okay.
The conversation I'll have with her then is a totally different conversation I'll have with her now. But I'll make examples later. But yeah, I think for me, my parenting style is basically reading and seeing people that I also look up to. And I wouldn't even say it's people that I look up to. I feel like I learn something from everybody. You can take from everybody. There's always something.
Is your parenting style different to what your parents used to do to you? Or?
Definitely. Oh, actually, I'm glad you're actually asking that question. There are a lot of things that I took from my personal experiences and how my parents did parenting. Because I can safely say we all turned out fine. Me and my siblings.
Okay.
So I take a lot of things from my parents, but also there are certain things when I grew up that I say I kind of wanted my parents to do,
but they didn't do.
Yes, I also make sure I do those things.
Oh wow.
I'll kind of think, okay, at age 6, I wish my mom had a conversation with me about this.
Oh wow.
And then I'm gonna have that conversation with my daughter. I wish my mom had said this to me, and then I'm definitely gonna say that to her.
Wow.
So it's things that I've seen, it's things that I've read about, and it's things that I had hoped had happened to me or somebody had said to me. So yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
That is so lovely. That is so lovely. You're like a passionate parent, and I know that you're also very passionate. How do you support the gifts of your children? Because I know that your daughters they have different passions. How do you cultivate their gifts and support them in that journey?
Sure. So maybe before I respond to the question of how do we support different gifts.
Yes.
Firstly is to say, in terms of my growing up, I'm different from Cindy because she grew up with both parents.
Yes. Yes.
For me, it was a different story. So not having present parents for me was something that is. That affected me growing up.
Definitely.
But having to be faced with the fact that I have to be a dad meant I had to ask myself a lot of questions about how am I going to be able to do something that I've never seen being done to me. So it has been a struggle. So there's a lot that I also learned from Cindy in terms of parenting and everything. But I think our basics of parenting, of course, is understanding that children are the blessing from God.
Yes.
So we need to be good stewards toward that,
Yes.
Raising them to be God-fearing young ladies. But just to answer your question about gifting, I think the basics of it is, and I think at the bigger level, it works in terms of what you were saying when you started, intentional parenting.
Yes.
But also just to say that there is no one size fit all for parenting. So I think people should always know that as we are here today sharing our experiences, it's not that somebody else will have the same or use the same rules and apply to them. So there's no one size fit all.
Yeah.
I grew up as a twin, so it's amazing that you're asking me about gifting because the temptation for most people is that you think twins are the same person, So you dress twins the same, you treat them the same. I remember growing up in school when my brother was doing well, I was asked, but your brother is doing, why are you not doing well? So almost as if you are the same person. So I think one of the things that are important for parents is to first understand that kids are never the same.
Yes.
So you're dealing with two distinct individuals, and you need in growing them up, you need to understand.
That's profound.
We have Stella and Emily in the house. They're two different people. So we always need to understand that how I discipline Ustel, how I go about it will be different with how I go about Emily. Not to say that I treat them differently, but I understand what sounds Emily responds and what sounds Stella responds. And so I think it's always important for parents to allow themselves to learn from their kids. But I think the basic is that these are two different individuals.
Yes.
So treat them as such. And I think that is part of intentional parenting to understand your kids that are different. I'm sure that you will also share the same with your two different boys, different individuals.
Definitely.
So that's what I can say for now.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. With times of social media and TV, and kids in our days are not the same as the kids that we were. How do you limit your kids with interaction with social media or even television? Or maybe should I rephrase my question and say, what does intentional parenting mean to you as parents? And what are the type of things do you limit your kids and you're not exposing your kids to? Because now we don't want our kids to do everything they want. We don't want them to be the bosses in the house. How do you draw the line?
I think below the line is different also in every stage. That's one thing that I've realized. The line can never be the same at any, because when they are young, you're still teaching the discipline of sleeping on time.
Yes.
Right now I'm not at that stage, but now they know that there's a time for sleeping. So when I say it's time for sleeping, they know that it's time for sleeping. So now there's a problem of TV. Well, we're not in the social media stage. I don't know what it's going to be like when we get there, and just praying that God gives me strength
and lots of grace.
But for now, we're just dealing with TV problems. So the TV is a problem. That's one thing that we've identified. Not now. I think we started noticing, was it last year? 2 years ago, yes. So I think she had turned 3, right? When we noticed there was a problem of TV. So we didn't have TV at all. We had a TV, but it wasn't working. Like we literally just shut down TV at that stage because it was getting really toxic.
That is so profound, because parents sometimes are scared to stop giving their kids certain boundaries. So you can continue on that.
And the funny thing is, the older one had a problem with TV. The little one didn't have a problem with TV. Even now, actually, the older one like really loves TV. Like if she's watching TV, her world is there. She is living there. She is part of the cast. She is just, you know, she's so immersed. Like nothing, everything can happen around her, and she's just not there. She's in the TV. So we brought back TV. A bit later, but now TV is a reward.
Oh wow, that's very good. That's
TV
very
is a reward for good behavior. We don't just open TV. If you're gonna be ready on time for school, you're gonna get TV on the weekend. TV is a weekend thing. That's the main rule. We don't open the TV on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They don't see TV. They only see TV on Saturdays and Sunday, and they know it's not even arguable. They don't even ask for TV during the week. They're just gonna ask for TV when they know it's TV time. So TV is a reward, definitely. So during the week when they misbehave, I tell them no TV on the weekend.
That's a good parenting strategy.
So they look forward to weekends so they can get that screen time. And also, even there on Saturdays, they will know that they have to, if they need to clean up their toys, clean up their room, they have to do all of those things and bath and have lunch. After lunch, then they can watch TV. So they don't just wake up and then they're sitting there and they just
enjoying
TV. It's also getting, you know, as young as they are, you don't want to say just because you can't clean the whole house, you're not going to do anything. You get what I'm saying? So there are little things that they get involved in doing. Like we do have a lady helping us at home. So it's the little things like I told her not to strip the beds. Like if they're changing the linen, which is something we do every weekend, I told her that they must take off the covers. The girls must do that. And then only then you can wash it for them. You know.
So if they don't take it out, then it's not going to get washed?
No, she'll remind them that to take it out. I think they still need to be reminded at this age. So and their clothes, they take their clothes, they put them in the basket, you know. It's those little things. But they know if they don't do those little things, then no screen time. So I think that's how we've been monitoring screen time for now. And it's been working. I think you just need to find a strategy that works for you.
Wow.
Just to add on that, of course, is that even when TV is on, it's important to monitor and verify what kind of content
because they can get a whole lot of unnecessary things.
Correct. So you need to know if it's channels, what channels, if it's YouTube or Netflix, you need to know which one exactly they need to. So also that becomes very important. But also with the cell phones and stuff, because remember kids like playing with cell phones.
Yes.
I think what we've also emphasized is that they don't own any cell phone. No, they don't. But also just to say that mums and dad's cell phone are mums and dad's cell phone.
Oh, they're not yours.
They're not yours. So you're not going to demand.
Yes.
That as well.
I've just remembered something, actually. We used to open YouTube as well, and they would watch from YouTube.
And then they would change.
We stopped watching YouTube because you can't really monitor YouTube because you'll put something else and then YouTube adds its own things,
and then you get there and they're watching something else.
For me, what I found to be very good, I don't have to monitor all the time, is Netflix. Because Netflix, you can set it, you know. Netflix, in my profile, we have profiles. Like there's mom and dad's profile, and then there's Emily and Stello's profile. So if you open Emily and Stello's profile, already it's programmed to all ages. So anything that is like from 7 years upwards, it doesn't play. It only shows all ages, the shows that they can watch. And I've actually found that there's tabs there. You can actually select learning something, and then there's programs there that are actually teaching the kids.
Okay, this is music to my ears.
Yeah,
okay.
so you can select that, and then because Emily has been learning science, right?
Oh,
she was
wow.
telling us that when evaporation is when the sun sucks up the water, and it's something that I didn't know. I don't know anything about science. You know, it's something very basic. There's a show called Emily's Wonderland, right?
Oh, wow.
That she likes. She likes very much. It teaches science, and as young as 5 years old, she could recite the things that are scientific that she was learning from that show. It's a very, very good show. I recommend it any day. So yeah. So Netflix is very good. I found Netflix to be very, very good. I'm happy with it.
I'm very happy with myself choosing you guys to interview, because who would have known? I didn't know these things that you're sharing with me right now, and I'm so happy that you are teaching the whole nation. Remember, the Empowerment Podcast is international. Yes. What lessons have you learned as parents that you'd like to share with other parents, and what life lessons do you want to share with your kids from your own background? What would you like to share with other parents that you've learned this and it has helped you? Do you guys have anything?
It's weird that I have to start. Look, Nabil, I think for me, and as I've briefly told my story, that there is not so much from my background that I can say. But I think maybe sometimes the reality of life is that we can learn from the negative. You know? We can learn from the negative. What is it that we should not do? It's funny that you're asking that question, because I've been thinking ever since we started this podcast that they say that between 1 to 7 years of the kid's life is the most important. That's where you create I'm just going to say either a good human or a bad human.
Exactly.
In that 7 years. Yeah. What then happens after that, they say it's just a process of relearning. But the first 7 years of every kid's life is the most important thing. And I want to say this. You know, kids learn because of routine. Routine is one of the most important things you can ever teach your kids, because what is it then about routine that is important? It's discipline.
Discipline.
You know, I can open up and be vulnerable and say, at this old age, I'm still struggling with my life, because in my growing up, I don't think that there was a set routine.
That you had to follow on a daily basis.
Make your bed, wake up, go bath, all those things. So intentional parenting, as you said, is about understanding that one of the things that are very impactful for any kid is routine. Teach them routine, because there's a lot of learning from that. Because kids are like sponge, you know? They just suck from the environment.
Definitely.
So you need to create an environment under which they can be able to learn and they can flourish. You know? But I think my best one is that just teach them routine. Absolutely, routine will involve issue of teaching them about God as well.
Yes, definitely.
At a young age, teach them about God, take them to church, all those things. But routine, I've realized how our kids are able to learn and become better human beings, because I believe they're becoming better human beings because of the very small things that happen on a daily basis. You know? And you know what happens with kids? At first, it will be like they don't like it, but after some time, it becomes part of their life. You can't change them. So I would say routine, which leads to discipline. For me, that's an important thing.
Can I ask you a very trick question while you're at that?
Sure.
Would you blame someone for choosing not to have kids? Because I see now, after speaking to you guys, I see that it's such a huge responsibility to be a parent.
It is.
Would you blame someone who just says, I want to get married, but I don't want to have kids? Would you say to that person, oh, you're being selfish, or you're being... What should you say to that person?
I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them.
I actually agree with this thing. You can't. If you understand the responsibility. Look, we not, when I say I'm generalizing, but most of us grew up in an age where kids, there's a saying that they used to say that a kid is brought out by the village, which is fine. I understand where it's coming from. But sometimes those things were used loosely. So somebody would just bring a kid to earth and they'll just grow up anyhow.
Exactly.
So there's no intentional parenting. So no, they'll just grow. So long as they get food, they'll grow up. And I don't think that's the way you can raise kids in this day and age, you know, with everything that is happening. So if people decide not to have kids, I think I will never blame people for that, because I understand the response. In fact, funny thing is that myself and Cindy stayed for about 2 to 3 years
without a child.
Without a child, because there was still an issue of saying when and, you know.
And so, people were praying for us already.
So we
So I'll say to everybody who's out there, there's nothing wrong with people getting married, of course. But if they decide not to have kids, you know,
it's their choice.
It's their choice, definitely. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
You have to be mentally ready.
I'm telling you.
Your lessons.
The lessons that you'd like to share with other parents that are listening to this podcast.
Okay. I think for me, one thing that I've learned that is very, very important with parenting would be that the kids learn from what we do more than what we say. So be very careful what you're doing around your kids. Like, they are watching. They are watching more than they are listening. Like, what you are doing. Like, I look at my firstborn and I just see myself. Like, I just see. Sometimes I'm gonna sit with my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're just watching. Like, she's like a mini version of myself. Like, I just don't know. Like, they are watching. And I was actually, we were talking about it, I think 2 years ago, the whole issue when the whole TV thing was just driving us insane. And we actually came to a decision that we are spending too much time on screen time. Like, what are we expecting our kids to do, you know? So we had to change. And I think during that time, we were very intentional about reading. After work, we would come to work and we would find a book and read. And I think that's where the love for the firstborn came about to read. Because right now she's very fascinated by reading. But the moment you open TV, the love is gone. So she loves reading. I've been teaching her a few words. So there's a book. She's very excited. There's a book that she can finish now. There's a book that she can read and finish by herself.
Well done.
Yeah. So she's very excited about learning how to read. Also the influence, the friends. You know, at this age, I think at this age we can choose friends for them. There's gonna come a time, definitely. I know as well that there's gonna come a time where I can't choose friends for them. But for now, I am choosing friends for them. Like, I'm intentionally. Well, outside of school, yes. Because they'll hang out with the people. I have to, like, personally know the family and the people. Like, it has to be people that are sort of in the same belief system that I'm in, that I'm comfortable with my kids going to play there, or their kids coming to play. Because a good example would be our neighbor. You know, our neighbor, their daughter, I think she was reading it by age 5. So she used to come here and read books. I think that's where the love grew for our firstborn. With regards to reading books, she would see that, she's so young, but she can read. And then she got very excited. You know, the influence again. They watch, what they see is what they're going to want to become. So, how you speak is how they're going to want to speak. How you treat people is how they're going to want to treat people. If they see kindness, they're going to want to go and exercise the kindness, you know. Because I think that's the one thing that I've been getting in terms of feedback with my firstborn. You know, the teacher is like, she's always saying, wow, your daughter's like so caring. Like, she'll literally go and look at somebody else. If somebody's upset, they'll go and spend time with that person and leave her friends. You know, she's that type of person, and I think it's something that is so embedded in her. She does it by default, if I may say. So if you want to see something in you, if you want to see them love people, show them love. You know,
be intentional.
Yes, be intentional. So what they see mostly is what they'll definitely want to. want to become.
We've learned a lot from what you guys had to share. Can I have your closing remarks, and can I have your social media platforms for all our people if they want to get in touch with you? As moms, sometimes we need tips.
I know.
Definitely. Do you have a private account on Instagram?
I do. But no, I do accept people. I just keep it private so that I don't know who's coming in.
Okay. Do you mind just sharing with our listeners? Because you are people that people can look up to.
Yeah.
Because we've shared so much wisdom on this podcast today, and I'm sure they'd like to follow you and see how you run your parenting and how, because you are in kids ministry and you're passionate about kids. So if someone has a question and stuff. So do you mind sharing?
Speaking of kids, my goodness. Yeah, that's one of the most exciting things about Sunday. Getting to interact with children. I always find that I can almost see the parent in every child that comes to Kids Zone. A good example would be your son. Your son is just you.
Oh my goodness.
You can almost see a reflection of the parent from the kids that come that we teach on Sunday. It's amazing. So I guess it also boils down to the whole issue of
influence.
They watch. They watch.
They watch more than they listen. What you say.
True. Yeah. So you were saying closing remarks, right?
Yes, and your social media platforms.
Okay, my closing remarks. Wow. Okay. My closing remarks would be, I think as parents we need to try and speak to our children about things before they hear them from the world.
Yes.
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
profound.
Yeah, on anything,
You must be the first.
Yes. Yeah. And you need to understand the stages. So as little, you know the stages, At the age of Telo, I can tell her that. And I think also you need to bear in mind at what age did people start talking to you about certain things. Because I don't want somebody else coming to speak about boys to my child before I do it. Because the way that they do it, it's going to be very different. Definitely. And that's the one she's going to grasp, by the way, because I haven't laid a foundation. So my closing remarks would be the importance of laying a foundation on any conversation,
before somebody
else does it for you. Yes, that would be my closing remarks. And my Instagram, I think Cindy Zondis. That's how much I'm not very active. I'm not very. Yes, but if you type Cindy Zondis, you'll see me. I've got a black hat, I think. I have a black hat happening there and a black top.
And I'll tag her on my post. I'll also tag her on this post. So just watch out for her and you'll get some good parenting tips from her.
I'll accept. I do accept people. I just like knowing who's coming in.
Okay. And know your closing remarks and your following?
It's just to say, parenting is not easy. Parenting is very demanding.
Yes.
And it's a responsibility. So I think it will be important for me to also say that parents need to learn to take care of themselves.
Yes.
Before they can take care of kids, they themselves must be well taken care of.
Definitely. Because they're also important.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll ask parents that take some time off. Have somebody watching the kids, whether it means you're going on holiday alone, just as a couple. But take care of yourself. Because you won't be able to take care of kids if you fail to take care of yourself. And I think some of the things that Cindy's already said is learn to reflect. It's a journey. So you won't always get things right, but reflect and say, if it's something that that something has gone wrong, where did you go wrong? And so forth. But learn to reflect because it's a journey. It's a journey. I mean, we are still dealing with the toddlers and we're still going to come to teenage stage. For sure, that will be a different curveball. That will be my end as far as that is concerned. My handle. So I think on Facebook I'm Swongeleni Zondi, just like that. On Instagram I am Nobile with a double L.
Okay.
Mobile Zondi with a double L.
And that's not your name.
So I accept people as well as sing stuff.
Okay. Thank you so much. There you have it, good people. I've got this couple. They are really being intentional. I didn't know that I was going to get so much information from them. So from me to you and your families and your kids, let us all be intentional about parenting. And I would like to wish you a happy Monday. Bye-bye.